Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. This is it, the last episode of season 1. Can you guys believe we made it this far already? This is it, man.
Woo!
So,
Oh yeah,
we got a great show to end episode 1 today. So, we're going to start off with a little playoff recap, of course. We got our picks for the Super Bowl. We got the quarterback carousel or quarterback shuffle, as you call it. And then we'll talk about the Flores coaching scandal. And then these guys have no idea what they're in for. What I got in store for them with Jeopardy. It's coming.
Oh, my God. Jeopardy.
It's coming, guys. All right. So,
Aaron Rodgers? He's coming on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, right? Hey, man, I might surprise you. So, all right. So let's start real quick with the introductions. I'll keep them a little bit shorter this week. So let's start with this guy. He's still in mourning over the Rams win. And now he's waiting for the Trey Lance era to begin. Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? I'm good. I'm recovering. I'm almost there. Yeah.
Everything good?
Yep.
All right, cool. This guy, let's just say he played high school football, if you can believe it or not. He got run over by Ron Dane and is still feeling the pain. Jermaine, what's going on, man?
I'm going to keep it short. Yo.
He's going to keep it short and say yo. All right, and last but not least, I've known this guy a long time. I'm going to give him a PI for progressively incomplete because he was wrapped in that cowboy blanket a little too neat. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dre.
Man, you went below the belt on that one. Oh, man.
Okay. Pitchers don't lie.
We'll talk about that later. All right, Jermaine. All right. What's up, everybody? What's going on? This is your host with the most.
I thought Dre was going to say, I got a grade for you. I was waiting for him to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a blank sheet. Blank.
All right, let's start with the playoff recap. Mike, we know you're recovering here. What do you think? The best 2 teams in the Super Bowl? I know your team's not in there, unfortunately, but what do you think? Are you good with everything and how they played out?
Is your wounds healed first before you might get a little still, hurt? I'm all
right. Yeah. No, I'm all right. I think. I guess the best teams in, they won. They did what they needed to do. I think. San Fran had the Rams like they done the whole season, had teams on the ropes, and then let them back in and not finish them, and it comes back to bite them. And you have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, you let it go. And seen that show. I don't know, like the last 3 years with San Francisco almost. Even the Super Bowl that they lost to Kansas City, same thing. 11-point lead, let it go. They got to figure out how to finish teams off.
Mm-hmm. So what was he doing? Jimmy G flicking that thing up in the air like that, though. He was like getting tackled, and he I don't know what the hell was that, a shuffle or something he was trying to throw.
Yeah, it was desperation.
Desperation.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think that's where you see Jimmy G's limited ability, especially athletic ability. I think someone like a Trey Lance hopefully could move with his feet and just give a little bit more time to get the ball to your playmakers. That drive, even when he had the one complete pass, I think it was to Sherfield, it was like a 1-yard dump off, and you're like, you got Kittle, you got Debo, you got Ayuk. I'm sure one of them guys just throw the ball near them, let them try to make a play, give them a chance. Mm-hmm. And he got conservative and really never threw the ball their way, never even thought about it, it seemed like. And I think that's where you saw his limitations. Has
it always been the rival between them two? Always close games? Like, cause I was looking at some stats. Like, 49ers have been beating the Rams a lot. And they finally broke it. Unfortunately, broke it the NFC Championship. But
right.
But did you think that saying hanging around, like they couldn't get anything going to push themselves ahead to make the Rams catch up?
Yeah, it's division rivals, so they always play each other pretty tough. It's either going to be a close game or it could be a blowout. But yeah, you can see with San Francisco just that they get a lead and they just will not keep doing it. This whole playoffs, the offense has really been hot for 1 second and then get cold. They were really cold in the Green Bay game, but the Cowboys game, they came out on fire, and then the second half, they weren't getting any more points. The Rams game, they got a lead, then stopped putting points on the board. Just seeing it happen way too many times. Got to score.
Yep.
Jermaine, where you at? You happy the way things went? You like the team?
Yeah, you got to score, and it's kind of hard. When I was looking at that game on Sunday, it's kind of hard to beat a team 3 times, let alone 6 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's got to come to a stop somewhere. You know,
right?
And it's a shame that you wish that it would have happened in the middle of the season or 3 games ago. That enough is enough came from the Rams. It's like, okay, we need to do this. All right. So, and there's pluses on our home field. You beat them at the last game of the season and whatnot. So yeah, it's tough. So yeah, I believe, San Fran had it. They had a nice run. They played ugly. It was ugly. Like you said, you got to score points. Mm-hmm. You got to score points. You got to make it count, But they played ugly, but it was a good ugly, tough and grind. They got to run a game. Right. They're going in the right direction,
Yeah. They lost by 3. In the end, they didn't get blown out. It was competitive pretty much the whole game. So, I mean, it was overall a good game. I just, wish they went the other way, but
yeah. It's all good. I mean, you guys are going in the right direction. I mean, compared to Philadelphia, I mean, that's just another story. I mean, you try to compare the two. I mean, which one you going to take, guys? Philly or San Fran? In the direction they're going. Yeah.
So can we say Sean McVay's a genius now?
You took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words. I was about to say it. Thank you, Sal. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess. No, he's not a genius. He's a good coach. Just like Mike said, he's not a genius. He's a good coach. Mm-hmm. All right, he's a good coach, and they threw all their pennies in the bucket. Giving up all their first rounds. I believe they don't got a first round draft pick until 2024. So they threw everything. Dang. They threw everything in the bucket to get to where they was at. Now, if they'd have lost, it's just like, okay, what was you knowing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess what free agency too, because like getting Von Miller and stuff like that.
That was those trades. Those are trades Odell, in the middle of the season.
Odell
I'm putting it out there right now. I think that's what's going to help. When they I'm picking them to win the Super Bowl because just looking at that offensive line. Looking at the offensive line for Cincinnati, I don't know. I mean, now you got Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and then I forgot the other guy, Leonard. Is it Leonard Floyd or something like that? Yeah, Leonard Floyd coming. I don't know. And then you got Jalen Ramsey. So I don't know if they're actually coming together. And plus, you also have experience on that other side of that football. So yeah, I'm picking the Rams because I just don't like that offensive line with Cincinnati, and I think that's going to catch up to them. So.
Yeah. I think I told you guys Cincinnati was kind of my sleeper team at the beginning of the year, and they came. I was them in Buffalo. I was on Buffalo a lot, and
I was on the same train.
Yeah, I still think Buffalo is in the right direction, but I got Cincy. So Dre, who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I have Cincy, and I want to ask all 3 of you guys: is you saying sleeper? And Jermaine actually brought it up. I'm gonna bring it up. Is Cincinnati a Cinderella team, or what? Or are they for real? They're gonna do it next week.
I think Cincinnati. I mean, I think this year for them to be going, and this we talked about this, Jay. For them to go this deep, and I'm kind of surprised they made the Super Bowl. I mean, they beat some qualified teams. I mean, they played their asses off. So I think. Because the way I had it predicted, I thought they was going to get bounced out the first round. Or not bounced out the first and second round. And then, get themselves together in the all season and really make a strong run this season. Now you're in the Super Bowl. Everybody's looking at them. I just feel as though now, next year, that X is on your back. You're on the radar now. You're definitely on the radar. Mm-hmm. For them to be making the Super Bowl. And I don't think a lot of people besides you guys, had them in the Super Bowl, correct? I wasn't looking at a lot of experts' predictions and all that stuff. A lot of people didn't even have them close, let alone the AFC Championship,
Mm-hmm.
Well, who they had to go through. I mean, they had to go through Mahomes, and I think a lot of people just kind of, just like San Fran going against Aaron Rodgers. I think people are looking at the quarterbacks and just saying, you gotta beat them, and until you beat them, we're gonna pick them. Right. So the Bengals had a tough road to go through.
Yeah, I was watching them in November, right about end of October, November, and they were going to some divisional games like against Ravens and Pittsburgh. But when they beat the Ravens, and I said, you know what? I think this team is the team in their division. They're going to be on top of the division. By the time November hit, I was saying, oh, you know what? Ooh, I think this team might be making the playoffs. And then as December hit, I was like, no, man. I said, this is the hottest team in the NFL right now, and if they stay hot, they're going. And I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, so and win the Super Bowl. So,
you guys disappointed we didn't see Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
It's a changing of the guard, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Those Aaron Rodgers, those Tom Brady's, are they're done. They just need to just go and just take a dirt nap. Pretty much, you know what I mean? That's some point. Because seriously, because you got the Josh Allens, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got the Patrick Mahomes when he wants to play right. You got the Joe Burrows. I mean, it's a changing of the guard. It's just time. Yeah, just sit down, old men, and just let the young kids take, because Ben Roethlisberger got it. He's done. You know what I mean? So Tom Brady, he's done. Because he got a busted lip, I'm assuming. You know what I mean? So he quit. So that's the way I look at it. Changing of the guard.
Did the Rams rejuvenated Matt, or Matt got rejuvenated coming to the coming out of Detroit? Because Matt's a dinosaur.
I think it was both.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think Sean McVay saw that quarterback was probably one of the glaring issues he needed to address to get to where he wanted to go. And then, Matt Stafford getting out of Detroit, I mean, it was like going to a winning team. You can't beat that, especially as long as he's been playing in the league. This is his chance to shine. I think both.
Okay. Well, Matt's not out of the woods yet because he could turn the ball over. He could turn the ball over. You know what I mean? In costly games, he could turn the ball over. Yeah. And then he has that dumb look on his face. You know what I mean? So in the Niners game, they dropped the interception.
Exactly.
There you go. That's the X factor right there, Mike. He's probably still sitting there with his thumb in his bed and he's sick, packed up. I mean, he needs help. I mean, his mentality. What's his name? Truitt is the
Tart, Jaquaski Tart. Yeah.
Oh, Tart. Okay, I said Truitt. Okay, yeah. Because I'll be messed up too.
That was a Stafford gift. That surely wasn't a gift, but I guess they gave that back because they gave up a wide open pass to that Sherlock, that guy's name. He was wide open in the end zone and dropped it. So I guess they gave it back. But I think the Rams. I hate to do it. I hate them so much, but I think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The concern I have with the Bengals is getting down early. That Kansas City game, they were down 21-0, and if Mahomes didn't do that crazy at the end of the half play where he threw the ball and they got stopped, I think that was a big momentum shift. But boy, if they had scored there, I don't think the Bengals were coming back. And I've seen the Bengals get down a couple games where they've been behind. And I think the Rams, I think if they get a big enough lead, I don't think they're going to give it up. I think the Bengals' chance of winning, I think a big part of it is going to come down to Joe Mixon. And if they can control running the ball, control the clock, and kind of do to the Rams what the Rams like to do to other teams. The Rams do like to try to run the ball, but they're not effective on it. But that's what they want to do. But I think the Rams are going to win.
It's that O-line. That O-line is what I'm concerned about. It's that O-line. That O-line, you got to protect Joe Burrow. And you got those, craziness. Donald and Von Miller might be rejuvenated and all that stuff. And here they come. Leonard Floyd and all that stuff. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, they can spell it. They can spell the blood. They finally at that point where it's like they can go all out because this is the game to go all out.
And to me, I think the Bengals can win it. Because what they've done in the last 3 games was to capitalize on turnovers. If they can still do that, I see them. I can see them winning. You know, the matchups. It's an interesting matchup. You got Chase. You got Riggins. You got, of course, you know, is Ramsey going to go against Chase? I guess I'm assuming because Chase is the best player, best wide receiver.
I think he's going to flip flop between him and
Riggins.
Higgins.
I'm sorry, Higgins. I keep saying Riggins. Sorry, out of my mind. But Higgins. So they showed me that when they were down and they came back, and then Mike, they when they finally sacked Patrick Mahomes, that's what rattled him. And then they got it, you know, and I think the blueprint's out. And so if they get to Matt, if they can get to Matt, I can see the Bengals still winning this game.
All right. Well, we still forgetting about Cooper Kupp. That's all. You know what I mean? You got Cooper
nobody can stop Cooper Kupp.
That's
nobody.
what I'm trying to say. and then you know, then you look on the other side, Odell Beckham. You know, so Odell Beckham is starting to come into was it Odell Beckham or was it the Cleveland Browns? Was it Baker Mayfield? I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see. You know, so but yeah, the X factor is Cooper Kupp. I mean, yeah, you got to get pressure. If you don't get pressure, if Stafford's going to sit there. Cooper Kupp is your man. I don't know how good their secondary is, Cincinnati secondary. You know, but yeah, like you said, Dre, they got to get pressure. They don't get pressure, it's gonna be a problem.
I think the funny thing with Beckham is he's a number 2 receiver. You know, he's always been number 1 everywhere he goes, and now as the number 2 guy, I think he's actually better because of that. Because Kupp is really the superior, receiver right now. Odell being a strong number 2, man, that actually I think gives him more opportunities.
Matter of fact, when he started, he was a slot receiver for the Giants because you had those other 2 big tall guys. And remember, he's playing that slot. He's playing very, very well. So I think you're right, Mike. I can't see him the number 1 like Cooper's number 1 and him playing better. So yeah, Sean McVay, the genius, is going to have to really mix it up. So.
Speaking of coaches, and let me ask you guys this, back to the Philadelphia connection here. You know, besides one time, Andy Reid seems to have a serious pattern here of losing in these championship games. You can't deny this, right? So what is it with Andy? Can Andy do they have his number? Can he just not, for some reason, close the deal?
Andy's a chump, okay? Because at the end of the game, you're the coach, you're the head coach, all right? So you're the one, you're the leader, okay? Emphasize leader, okay? So at the end of that half, what did Patrick Mahomes do? Because Andy was pushing to get the field goal, to get the points. What did Patrick Mahomes do? He pushed the back. He's like, "No, we got this. No, we got this." So that's just my opinion. I mean, whose fault was it? Was it like you said, Sal? Was it Andy's or was it Patrick Mahomes? So I believe this is all Andy's fault. You know, this is all Andy's fault and whatnot. So, that's the way I see it. I think Andy Reid's a chump. You know, and for him, they should have won that game. They should have won it. You know, because he left points on the field.
So you're calling him a chump. You're saying leader, but remember at the beginning of this podcast, you guys said he's a Hall of Famer, and I told you he's not.
He is a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer chump listed. When I go to Canton, Ohio, and I look at his thing, I see chump and not a leader, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Who else you gonna put?
Hall of Famers are supposed to be GOAT.
Who else you gonna put ahead of Andy Reid?
Sean
Who
McVay.
else?
Sean McVay.
Who else you gonna put ahead of Andy Reid?
Listen, I can't think right now who I could put in front of him, but it doesn't matter that he has the most wins. Like
right.
You have to be a Belichick. I mean, that's Hall of Famer to me.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So the coaches that are in the Hall of Fame right now, I mean, besides Belichick, what else you gonna do?
You can't have Andy Reid in there if you're gonna say something like that. I'm sorry. But I agree with you, though. What I'm saying, I agree with you. He has some lead. What did he say back in Philadelphia at the press conference? It's my fault. I always have to. You know how he always says that, right?
Do a better job.
Do a better job, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
I get it. I get it. Just like Brett Favre's a chump, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, what do you want? You know what I mean? So and therefore, when it's all said and done, Patrick Mahomes is going to be in there, and I just feel as though that he's just declining. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. There's a whole bunch of chumps in the Hall of Fame, Dre, And that's all I'm saying. And Andy Reid is going to be up there with him.
Sal, just like I said, like it was flipped, like with Chip, taking us Sal. He came in with a great superstars. Okay, How much did he really have to do, right? Because he has the weapons, right? And his second year, he came in, won the Super Bowl, right? So now we're starting to see where the coaching is going to be an issue, how he's trying, because Patrick Mahomes is making stupid mistakes. And then, how is his team losing? They're supposed to be this great, high, powerful offense team. It comes down to coaching. So next year, there's maybe next couple of years, they're still the top AFC team, but number 1 seed or number 2 seed losing in the playoffs, that's coaching.
Mike, I see parallels here between Mahomes and Reid and Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
I was about to say that.
Good point.
What do you think?
That's
Mike?
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
it is. Yep, it is. That's true.
Yeah, I can see that. It's tough because you still look at what they have there, and most people will say, "Yeah, I'll take that." Compared to where the team is at now, being in the mix. But yeah, Andy Reid has kind of got a little bit of Marty Schottenheimer in him that, in these close playoff games, they choke up, especially as they get close. If they have a dominating lead and are running away with it, then they're fine. But when things get tight, that's when the clock management decisions start going crazy and the play calling starts just not being efficient, and then and the players just honestly don't do their job. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he was dropping critical passes in that playoff game. You're just like, dude, you're the number 1 receiver. You got to catch every ball that comes your way this time of year, and he's got hands of stone that at the wrong time. The guys do got to execute. There were times where Mahomes put the ball where it needed to be, and guys wouldn't catch it. So yeah, it's like the whole team maybe follows Andy Reid in that sense, that he being a leader, that he gets conservative and kind of seems like he's choking under pressure, and the team just kind of does the same thing.
That's what you call a chump. He's a chump.
I always said that Andy Reid plays. He plays not to lose, and that's the biggest problem with him. But all right, we'll keeping it moving because we got a lot to discuss today, guys. So. Let me read you the quarterback carousel shuffle here. I'll just read you some of the free agents for this year really quickly. I'll just read like the top 10 or whatever. Obviously, Jimmy G, right? We got Ben Roethlisberger, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andy Dalton, Cam Newton, Tyrod Taylor, Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, Marcus Mariota, and yours and mine, Joe Flacco. So, guys, does it matter with any of these guys? Do you see them going to any team? And
Ben Roethlisberger
retired. So
yeah, so he's done. He's off.
He's off the list.
But,
it really doesn't. I mean, that list really doesn't matter.
Jacoby Brissett,
really?
That's a chump.
Jameis Winston.
It just seems like all those players that you had are pretty much like they got to be in the right system to actually thrive and whatnot. You just can't, they'll have a great season with one team, then they go to another team. It's just like, oh, okay. So I think it's all that they're system players. That's all.
Jameson, I think Jameson. Well, Sean Payton retired now, so I was going to say Jameis Winston was going to rebound for the New Orleans, but New Orleans now just rebuild.
Well, New Orleans, if the rumors are true, might hire Bieniemy, and if he's the coach and Jameis is underneath him, they could actually be pretty strong. I think he's as good as a coach I think he can be, especially from an offense perspective. So Jameis Winston might be in a good situation if Bieniemy is the coach down there.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, from Kansas City. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See,
okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say what's interesting about the quarterback situation is right now there's not many quarterbacks coming out in the draft. So a veteran quarterback, this is like the optimal time to be a veteran because you're going to get paid because teams are desperate, especially on the NFC side of things. There's so many teams that are lacking quarterbacks. So you have no choice but to get a veteran guy and hope that he can play pretty good or better than good. So I think it's ideal for a lot of these guys on the list that we think are so-so. They're going to get paid. They're going to get opportunities.
Oh, that's what it comes down to, about people getting paid, I guess, huh? And then you're hoping. Oh, we paid this man $300 million, and we just hope.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I think that's where teams are at. Well,
I know. Not slight against you, but it's a shame. Yeah, just like, we just hope, and then you might set your franchise back another 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Right. So. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Look at Tampa. Like, look at Tampa now. That Brady's gone. They got a big vacuum now at quarterback. They got to go out. They can't really draft anybody. They got to get somebody to fill that spot, and the pickings are slim.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to say it now. Aaron Rodgers is going to Tampa. I'm telling you.
Aaron Rodgers is okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be the Jeopardy.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, him and Bruce Arians, they got almost the same attitude. There's no way that's going that I can see them butting heads in the sideline. Seriously, when stuff start going south, Sal, I can see them butting heads.
Because that's what happened with McCarthy, and then he went to the Dallas. But yeah, he didn't like McCarthy. Remember?
But think about it. Tampa's window is closing. So who is the best quarterback right now that can win you a Super Bowl? Aaron Rodgers, right? Anybody else on that list getting you a Super Bowl? No.
But Aaron's not a free agent, though, so you're going to give up something.
Yeah, they got to give up something.
And I don't think they have anything to give up.
Yeah. Well,
Russell Wilson, or is he just injured, hurt now? Russell Wilson.
Like I told you guys, with Russell Wilson, I'll take Philly. I'll take Russell Wilson. He's 33 years old, so you probably got a good 3 years left in him. You got 3 draft picks. Listen to my scenario. You got 3 draft picks. All right, I'm willing to give up 2. I am, because you're not going to do nothing with him. Anyway, come on, stop with the shaking of the head, guys. I mean, seriously, you think Philadelphia is really going to do something with these 3 draft picks? Come on, Sal. Come on, Dre. I mean, just stop. What is it? And you broke it down a couple episodes ago, Sal, with these draft picks. Let's go back to 2014, or what happened with these draft picks. Look, go out to Russell Wilson, get a veteran quarterback, right? Keep Jalen Hurts, make him the Taysom Hill of the Saints. Bottom line, period.
Jesus. No. You can keep him.
I'm just saying. Anybody agree with me, please email us.
Enough stick through at gmail.com.
Yeah. Tell me I'm right.
Just put a heart around it and say to Jermaine, all right? So, Dre, you take Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I'll take Russell Wilson.
For 2 first-round picks?
Yeah. I think Philadelphia's got to get I agree with Jermaine. They got to get a veteran in there because, you remember me in episode 1, I was all on high on Hurts, and then I brought reality. Hurts is just not the guy. He just ain't.
If you're going to have an identity to run the ball, Russell Wilson comes in here, so you got a scrambling quarterback as well that can throw the ball deep downfield, okay? So now if your identity is strictly 85%, 80% running the ball, then you bring Jalen Hurts in to run the RPO, and then you have Miles Sanders that'll take off a load off of Miles Sanders because he's injury prone. You keep Jordan Howard. I'm serious. You got a bona fide offense right there. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Sal, I can't believe you're shaking your head with these draft. And then you know what they do with these draft picks. Who was our general manager? Who's our general manager?
I know.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. But I mean, you're talking out of both ends of your mouth, Sal. You saying that we haven't done nothing with our draft picks, and you're right. Now all of a sudden, I don't want to do 2. Okay, then what are you going to do then? What are you going to do with the 3 draft picks that you have in the first round? What are you going to do?
Bring in an aging veteran who's been hurt and can't throw. We got a running quarterback in Jalen Hurts. I don't want a running quarterback.
All right, but you got a running quarterback, but then a guy that can throw the deep ball.
Great. Who's going to catch it?
I got to say,
receiver that they double team right now. Who's going to catch it? Jalen Rieger?
No, Russell Wilson is an instant upgrade if you're able to get him. I mean, you can get him, and then see if you can get just a decent number 2 receiver. I think you got a number 1, wasn't it, Smith?
Yeah.
But get rid of Rigger, get someone else that's just a solid number 2 guy, and you already got the running game, so then you got a solid offense. Then it's just a matter of, I guess, shoring up that secondary. I think you got to get rid of, was it McLeod, your favorite guy, and bring in someone else to shore that defense up. It could work. I mean, you really could get Russell Wilson and really take advantage of an NFC East that I think it's pretty weak right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's better than Danny Dimes. I'll say that.
So Sal, if you're saying if what you're saying, don't give it a draft pick, so you want Philadelphia to spend the money on the DBs because I'm sorry, linebackers. Linebackers.
Linebacker, but defense in general. I think that's where the defensive
because
line.
We're horrible in linebackers. Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah. Linebackers, defensive line, safety. That's where you're, and cornerback.
Okay. All right. But, all right. So
that's assuming, like Jermaine said, that they actually can draft, but.
If they can draft, I wouldn't be saying that, Sal. I would not be saying Russell Wilson. Keep your draft pick. You got 3 first-round draft picks. But they can't draft. That's what it is. Yeah. They can't. They can't draft.
Yeah.
No, I would.
Stats don't lie.
I say make the trade. I think Russell Wilson, especially if he's healthy, to change that around. Sometimes you just don't realize that the player on the team, we have Hurts and he makes mistakes and the momentum drops off and the defense is kind of like, oh, here we are again on the field. You get Russell Wilson who can manage the game and make plays and extend drives and things like that to help the defense out, and the defense starts getting motivated, you might find out that they can actually play better than what they did last year. So Russell Wilson can just improve the whole team just by his leadership and just being there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And Russell's tough. Russell's a tough player.
I can't believe, Sal.
I would make that deal.
I can't believe that you the one that made the stats. I call you the stat man, big microphone, and you're sitting up here saying, "No, don't do that. Don't do that." Why? Why not? We don't have nothing. At this point, Sal, we don't have nothing to lose, man. We have nothing to lose. Nothing. What are you going to do?
Draft. Get rid of Howie and draft.
No, that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So if you do what you have to do, that's all. Put the scenario out there.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is quarterback carousel.
All right, so moving on here, Flores. All right, so here we go. We got a lawsuit in the NFL here, going on about these coaches. Is it fair? You got the Rooney Rule, and coaches are saying they only get interviewed because of the Rooney Rule. What are we doing here? Is it true or is it not true? Is the NFL still having issues here with players and coaches and what's going on? Jermaine, I'll start with you.
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean with this. To be honest with you, I think this Rooney Rule is a bunch of crap. And I told Dre this the other day. I said I feel as though it is a bunch of crap because teams are going to do what they want to do. You know what I mean, and they're going to use that Rooney Rule to an advantage. So. It's kind of frustrating. I mean, I look at it, let's go all the way back, to that Rooney Rule when Deuce Staley, before you hired Nick Sirianni, and what happened there. You know what I mean? Deuce Staley didn't even really, I think he got an interview, or even before they hired Doug Peterson. I just feel, he put his time there. He put his time in and whatnot. He was an assistant coach for almost 10 years and stuff. So, And then for them to slight him like that, it's just I got mixed emotions with this whole situation. I really do. I don't know how true all this Brian Flores thing is, and does he have a leg to stand on? Because all you're doing is going by a text, and this is what I'm doing. Maybe you guys know some other stuff and whatnot, but it's just a big mess. That's all. It's a big mess, 100%. So like I said, I got mixed emotions from it, and I'm not going to go really deep into it and whatnot, but I feel as though that the Rooney Rule, they need to revise it or do whatever they have to do, but I just feel as though it's a bunch of crock.
Dre, what do you got?
The NFL needs to catch up. They need to catch up with the rest of America. We know today that more exposed with equality and ethnicity. I feel that so the NFL has 70% black athletes, right? and only 3% coaches right now. One coach right now is Mike Tomlin. He's the only black head coach right now in the NFL. Since 2011, it's been declining more and more and more, as you can see. And I think what Brian, he saw this as like, wow, really? I mean, it's humiliating to him. He got angry about it, and he feels like there has to be a change. So I think that's why he came forward with this, and he wants to put out there that the NFL is still behind times, and they got to get themselves together. Even the former secretary, I forgot his name, he mentioned that, in 1974 we had the first black quarterback. And then he said, since then, we only had 10 head quarterbacks, black quarterbacks. So it's still an issue. I kind of even look at it as affirmative action, with this Rooney Rule crap. So it has to change. That's just my opinion.
You're right, Jay. It has to change. But a lot of people, like a lot of other black coaches that's been getting slighted in the league, they're going to have to step up. This can't be all on Brian Flores. And I have not yet to see, because Hugh Jackson came in and then he backtracked, on the stuff that he was going through. I guess it was with Cleveland or whatever. I'm not sure, but he backtracked. But it's got to be people that's got to be, they got to step up. It just can't be on one person, because they're going to look at that one person. It's like, oh, well, that's just that's just him being angry because he's not getting a coach. I mean, he's not getting a coaching job or whatever. But that's just the way I see it as well. People's got to. I mean, black coaches that don't have a job yet, they're gonna all have to step up and see that, like you said, that the NFL does need to catch up because they're behind the times. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Mike, what do you got, man?
Yeah. I think Andre, you said it best. The NFL is behind the times. I think they still, to some degree, have maybe kind of like a 1960s mindset in terms of where people, in terms of getting positions of power, like you say, a quarterback or a coach or a GM and, owner of a team. I think as a country, America is definitely a lot more diverse and there's definitely more opportunities. And I think the NFL may present that image that they are going to move in that direction, but they got a lot of work to do to actually, really, show that they are doing it. I think Brian Flores' case highlights an issue that we kind of all knew was an issue, has been an issue forever. I think the particular facts of his case and him, in particular, I think there's, I'm not sure how strong his case really is. When I look into like his claim with the Dolphins, it's more of a he said, she said kind of thing. He's saying, yeah, I got bribed to lose games, and the owner of the team's like, no, I didn't do that. So, I mean, unless you got like something in writing saying you're going to get, $10,000 to throw a game, or you got a check that you cash saying you did it, that's a he said, she said thing. I looked at the interview with the Giants, and I know the Rooney Rule, it seems like it's a joke. I think the intent of it is the right direction, but yeah, the execution of it, certain teams don't really, they take advantage of it. But I did look at who interviewed for the Giants job, and according to the Giants website, they interviewed 6 people, and 5 of them were defensive coordinators, defensive-minded coaches. And Brian Dable, who got the job, was the only offensive guy that they hired. They had a 31st ranked offense out of 32 teams last year. Mm-hmm. Why would you interview 5 defensive coordinators and 1 offensive coordinator unless you pretty much have it already set in your mind? Mm-hmm. That's who you're going to hire. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and it wasn't all black coaches that they interviewed. I mean, they interviewed Dan Quinn, and then they interviewed someone else who wasn't black. So that whole interview was kind of a sham, but I don't think it was necessarily racially motivated of a sham. Like, I don't think they were, going out of the way to shame black coaches in that, because they were shaming everybody. So when I look at that situation for Brian Flores, like, I hear what you're saying about, it was a sham interview, but I don't think that you got a sham interview because of the color of your skin. You got a sham interview because they just wanted to hire, the Buffalo's coordinator, no matter what the deal was. And then again, it's more he said with the Denver Broncos. So as Jermaine was saying, you got to get other coaches to share their experiences, black coaches, and say, yeah, when I went in for an interview, Elway did show up drunk, or I was asked all kind of crazy questions that, I don't think probably were asked to, the other coaches that are white or other races. So, yeah, I think the league's definitely got work to do. And I think Brian Flores' case definitely highlights that the work still needs to be done.
Yeah, it's got to be if you're I don't care what you are, right? Color, race, whatever. If you're the best person for the job, you're the best person for the job, period. Yeah. Well, it's a tough situation, either way around. I mean, Dre will tell you just when we grew up, Dre and I think you said it perfectly, Andre, you and I never saw color. And I think that's an important thing. And it goes back to, like you said, I think the upbringing, right? We were raised, doesn't matter who you are. If we like you for who you are. And that's just the way we were brought up. And and that's why Dre and I remain friends all these years, and we still will. So
I don't understand that.
That's the way I look at it.
I understand. How do you be friends with that cat?
All right, well, cool. Let's keep it moving here because
it tells us we don't like Brett Favre. I hope he listens to this. So he's like, what? Because he gets on his NFL thing on the radio and say, I saw these guys or listen to these guys on NFL radio. I mean, enough said. I would just love to hear it.
No, but I think Mike likes. I think Mike likes Brett Favre because I don't hear nothing negative from him. Just saying.
I'm not like John Madden in love with him, but
I don't hear a lot coming out of your mouth whenever you're talking about Brett Favre. Looking at you, looking at your face, and your head just dunks down. Like what I'm saying is like, what is Jermaine saying? He's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. All right. That's funny.
All right. So it is time for Enough Said Jeopardy. You guys ready for this?
No.
Okay. So we have, like normal, so we have 5, choices for each category, right? Each 200, 400, 600, 800, and 1,000, like Jeopardy does. And we have 2 different categories. We have famous Enough Said podcast quotes. So these are actual quotes from people from our podcast. And then we have overrated quarterbacks. Okay.
All right.
What, past and present?
Past and present. Okay. So Dre, I'll let you choose first. Category and the dollar amount.
Quarterback.
All right. Overrated quarterbacks. How much?
1,000. You said 1,000?
2, 4, 6, 8,
Let's
or
do 100, Dre. That's your favorite number.
No, I already know this answer, so I know where I'm going with this. I'm taking the most money. I want to be ahead of y'all. Give me the most.
He's going for 1,000. Here
That's
we go.
right. I'm going for 1,000.
This is probably the most obvious one too. It's a shame. All right, whatever. Here we go. Born October 10th, 1969. He played in the NFL for 20 seasons. Oh, and you have to answer in the form of a question. Don't forget that. I forgot to mention that too. All right. So he was born in 1969. He played 20 seasons. At the time of his retirement, he led the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and quarterback wins. He was named the NFL MVP 3 times from 1995 to 97. All right, so we'll just go real quick. Who do you got?
Jesus.
Born in 1969.
I know.
Born in 1969.
Named the MVP 3 times from 95 to 97. He led the NFL in passing yards, touchdowns, and quarterback wins at the time of his retirement.
Jesus.
And I
know. That's John Elway.
So we'll go real quick. So you're saying Elway, Dre?
Yeah.
Mike, who you got?
I say who is Brett Favre.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, so who is John Elway? Who is Brett Favre? Jermaine, who you got?
So wait a minute. 95, 96, and 97. He won it 3 times 3.
Correct.
I know. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Who is Brett? Yeah, who is Brett Favre? That's. I'm stumbled off of that. Yeah. So
the answer is, who is Brett Favre? That is it. So you guys get 1,000. Keep track of your own points because I can't do that.
Well, I'm a negative 1,000. So
Dre, you get to pick the next one since you lost.
No, that was a good pick though, Dre. John Elway.
Yeah.
What stumped me was the 3. The 3. What's the name? That's why I didn't pick Brett Favre. Okay, so I'm a negative 1,000. So
you're letting your hatred for Brett Favre blind you.
It did. All right.
So what's the next one? Category?
The first one, the first category.
Okay, so you're going to go with podcast quotes for how much?
For 500.
What do you mean for 500? You got to get back out of the negative, man.
Oh,
I'll give him 1,000. I'll say.
Because was even numbers.
I know.
famous quotes for 1,000.
I need some orange juice this morning. 1,000, okay? 1,000.
All right. Here's the quote, and these are exact quotes from the podcast. Oh, just like what I said a few weeks ago. Take the diaper off. There's nothing wrong with you. Put some underwear on. Put that Sixers jersey on, and go out and play.
Who is Ben Simmons? Who is Jermaine Grace?
All right.
Who is Jermaine? I remember that. Who is Jermaine?
Jermaine? Just say my whole name, Dre.
Let me do your social security number 248-17-17653.
All right. So that's correct. You all got.
Yes, I got 0. All right.
Who is Jermaine Graves is correct. All right. So Jermaine, since that was you get to pick the next one.
All right. Give me the quarterback for what's the highest? 1,000.
Yep.
All right. Give me the quarterback for 1,000.
Okay. So he played college football at Ole Miss, and he led his team to 2 Super Bowl victories. He holds franchise records for passing yards, touchdown passes, and completions from 2004 to 2019. So he went to Ole Miss. All right. He led his team to 2 Super Bowls. He holds a franchise record for passing yards and touchdown passes and completions in his career from 2004 to 2019. So
who is Peyton Manning?
All right, Mike, who you got?
I say who is Peyton Manning.
All right, Dre.
Who is Peyton Manning?
You guys are close. You're in the right name. Who is Eli?
Eli, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah. We got one of the Mannings.
He was in the back of my mind because I was like, with 2004 to 2019. I like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what got me too.
Yeah. Now I think about it. Yeah, he was an Ole Miss guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, it's your choice, man. Who you got now? Pick one.
What's the category we haven't done yet?
There's only 2 of them. We've done both. So,
okay.
Or podcast quotes.
I'll do podcast quotes for 800.
Podcast quotes for 800. Here we go. What we have here is A for achieve. You have PS for progress satisfactory. So that means satisfactory progress and is expected to achieve the goal. Listen, PG is less than anticipated progress, but they still achieve the goal, okay? Then you got PI for progressively inconsistent, okay? Make inconsistent progress and not achieve the goal. And that's where Jalen Hurts is. He's a PI. That is an exact quote.
That would be who is Dre all day.
And I had to put the okay in there and stuff because you were all screaming at him. Oh, man.
That's a good one.
I think Mike's leading, right?
Let me get myself 800 on this. Yeah,
I think everybody's got that one. That was an easy one. All right. So, Dre, since that one was you, I'll let you pick the next one.
I'll take podcast again for 1,000.
All right. We already did 1,000, so I'll give you 600, okay?
All right, 600.
All right. What is the difference that they have this year? I said that defense with Michael Parsons and Trey Diggs. That defense stepped up. There's another X factor with that defense.
Who is the undercover Cowboy fan, Jermaine?
Who is Jermaine? Yeah, who is Jermaine? Definitely.
I got 600 points. Yes, I finally got some points.
All right, that one of us definitely who is Jermaine. Oh my God, it comes back to haunt you, don't they, guys?
It does.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right, Jermaine, that one was you, so you get to pick. So we got the 200 and 400s for both right now.
All right, so give me
either quarterbacks or quotes.
Give me the quarterback. Okay.
You want the quarterback. All right, quarterback for 200. Let's see real quick here. He lives in Franklin Lake, New Jersey. He is on the CBS pregame show. He has 33,462 passing yards and 199 passing touchdowns in his career and his 13 franchise records.
I'm going to say who is Phil Simms.
All right, Mike?
Who's Dan Marino?
All right, Dre?
Who is Boomer Esiason?
That's right. No, he's not on there.
The answer is, who is Phil Simms?
Yeah!
Phil Simms.
Sorry, I thought I was right.
I was gonna say Phil, but I thought Phil was actually at the games. I didn't think he was on the pregame show.
Yeah, I didn't know Phil's stat. I thought Boomer was better than Phil.
Yeah, Phil's. Well, Boomer is on there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, CBS. Okay.
Yeah.
I swear I thought I was right on that. Oh,
Yeah, I thought Phil was like like Aikman at the games. I didn't think he was on the pregame show.
At one point, he was. On the field. I mean, he was a commentator. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never forget that one time he was on there. Yeah, he was on there, and he cleared his throat so bad, man, that he had.
Yeah.
I was like, what the.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, what the hell was that?
Because I think later he had to excuse himself for
Yeah,
that.
I was like, man, what is that? He's like, and he threw that football down the field. He's like, I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Nothing is funnier than Joe Theismann and those guys when they were on ESPN. Oh my
those are the
God,
best ones. Yeah, you're right.
they were hilarious. One was senile, one was like Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I forgot that older guy's name, but that was hilarious. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about, Joe. Go back out there with your broken leg or something like that.
Yeah, and the other guy said,
out there.
the other guy said, look at number 37. And then he said, and Joe Theismann said, I keep telling you, it's the guy on the other team.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah,
It's hilarious.
All right, famous quotes here for 400. I'll pick this one.
That's Mike.
Then we got two. We got one left for each one after this.
All right, okay.
So,
All right.
so here we go. Let me bring it back. Here's how I look at it. One, you remind me of Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. You're on the back of the boat, you hit the iceberg, and you're hanging on no matter what.
Who's that?
Who's that for? All of us?
All of you. So,
All right, so who is Brett Favre crush Ron?
Mike, who you got?
Oh man, that's a good one. I can say who was Ron.
All right. Jermaine?
Yeah, who is Ron?
You all got it. So it is Ron indeed. That was season 1, episode 6. I have all these written down if you ever want to know what they are.
You know, if Dre didn't go first, I would have got that one wrong.
Of course, I knew who it was.
Right.
Yeah, he's talking about me, you punk.
Well, I had to take that out of it because your name was in there.
That's good. That's good.
All right. So here we go. Overrated quarterbacks for 400. In January 2017, he was elected the most attractive player in the NFL.
What?
He has had 2 stints with the New York Jets. He's won 1 Super Bowl and passed for over 41,000 yards in his career.
He had a stint with the Jets.
2 stints with the Jets.
2 stints with the Jets.
2 stints with the Jets. He was elected the most attractive player in the NFL, and he's won 1 Super Bowl and has passed for over 41,000 yards in his career.
What? Ooh.
Yeah.
With the Jets.
That's what got me messed up.
I'm gonna guess who is Flacco.
All right, Mike? Or Dre, if you got it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, who is Joe Flacco?
Dre?
Yeah, who is Joe Flacco?
Wow, you all jumped on the train. You were right. Who is Joe Flacco? That is it, man.
The Jets stumbled me, though. That's what stumbled me.
Yeah,
Well, he has one Super. He has one Super. I thought he has 2 Super.
Yeah.
with the Ravens.
Beat the Niners. Yeah, he beat the Niners with the Ravens.
Yeah.
And then he beat somebody else, right?
Nope.
No.
That's the only
one.
Super Bowl he has?
Yeah.
Yep.
1 Super Bowl.
And after that Super Bowl, Jermaine, he got paid $100 million.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Never the same again.
Nope.
You know,
Yeah.
he played right at the right time.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up with this one. Famous quotes. I actually missed one of the quarterbacks, but that's fine. We can, But all right, we'll wrap it up here with the quotes.
No, throw the last 2 in.
All right, I'll throw the last 2 in. All right, here we go. Famous quotes. I was on their coattails in week 1, okay? This team is going to be the real deal. I was high on their drive. Well, I got put down back to earth big time.
Let Mike go first because he looks stoned.
I'll say who was Andre.
Yeah,
right.
It sounds like him, don't it, Mike?
Yeah.
What do you got, Dre?
Who is
Of course I know who it is.
Jermaine, who you got?
Andre?
You got it. Everybody's got that one. Who is Andre? All right. Famous quarterbacks, $400 or $600 is actually. Oh, this is an overrated quarterbacks.
Okay.
Selected by the Bengals in the second round of the 1984 NFL Draft, he went to 4 Pro Bowls and has passed for over 37,000 yards in his career. He had a 1-week tryout when Don Imus got fired on CBS Radio. Yeah.
Who was the Esiason?
All right. So Mike says, who was the Esiason? Dre?
Wait, what was that? What was that year?
The year was 1984.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Boomer Esiason.
All right.
Who was Boomer Esiason?
Jermaine?
Yeah, I was going to say Andy Dalton, but yeah, when you said 1984, yeah, it's Boomer Esiason.
You guys have been all following Mike here. Mike's right on target. It is Boomer.
I was going to say Andy Dalton.
I can't think of any other quarterback with the Bengals that can have any kind of passing yards like that.
Well, that was the thing. You know, before you mentioned the year, I was stuck on the passing yards. I was thinking of Carson Palmer. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But it was too. It was too old.
Yeah. All right, cool. Fun. Well, let's do this real quick. You know, I thought this would be a nice way to end it. Let's wrap up with your highlights from season 1. You know, this is the end of season 1. I think it'd be a nice way to end up real quick. So just mine was, I have to say, just overall, just getting this thing started. You know, we started from having no listeners to now we're up over 250?
Over 250.
Me, that's my highlights. We're going to keep growing this thing. And I just enjoy the games like this and, you know, the time we have. So that's my highlights. So Dre, what do you got? Highlight.
So my highlight is just awesome collaboration with all of us. I think we all love to talk about sports. And yes, we're on football for the season because of the beginning, because of where we started. But overall, man, I think I just like the different personalities. I love the different mindset, skill sets, and stuff. I think it's more to come and better than ever. So just keep this train rolling.
Sweet, Mike.
I'd say my highlight for me personally is being able to be a part of the crew. Mm-hmm. You know, being able to come in mid-season and being able to stay on board is my personal highlight. And then I think overall, the highlight really has just been that we've been able to stay consistent and be able to enjoy doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jermaine.
I think my highlight is that basically Dre's out of rehab because he was smoking from game 1. Now he's in rehab, and you know he's come down to earth, and now he's back on, and now he's back out of rehab, and he's smoking again because he had those abbreviations and stuff. So really gave us a headache last week, but overall, I think we came. You know, it was a good season 1. And I think it's plenty more of positive stuff to come. We're developing the structure. We're developing our own identities. And, like I told you guys before, I look forward to it every other Sunday, hanging out with you guys, being with you guys for about an hour or so and whatnot. And like you guys said, the best is yet to come. We keep being consistent about it, being consistent.
And I want to thank Kiana, Ross, Ron, and Michelle has also been on here for the first season. And I hope we can get them back on here again. It was just awesome.
Greg.
So. And Greg, excuse me. Yeah. Greg as well. Looking forward to it. And well, if Ron's listening, he need to bring his butt on here so we can get this going.
We might have to get an enough said lawyer for all these bets.
legal consultant.
Let me type in legal Zoom.
Yeah, right. We got to be an LLC here all of a sudden.
Make sure another LLC. Make sure the terms are documented properly so no one's backing out of these deals.
Oh my god,
that's a good one, Mike. That is a good one.
Oh my god,
this has been awesome, man. This is keep going.
Pretty good, man.
Let's keep it going, guys. Next week we're going to start season 2. Ross is back on next week along with his friend Mike. You do not want to miss this one. This is going to be interesting. So we're looking forward to kicking off season 2. In the meantime, guys, thank you as always. We are a little bit over here today, but it's all right. We're going to keep things going. Hopefully not run out of time next week. So, All right, take it easy, gentlemen. Peace.
All right, peace out,
guys.
All right. Yep, I won Jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, Mike won Jeopardy.
Yeah.